you learn more opportunities will come up to earn more. You said something along those lines. And I think from like a retention perspective, which is what we're talking about now, right? That's the ideal situation for an owner, a business is we attract and recruit the right people and then we retain those people, right? What's one of the cool things that he just said about, hey, if they move on, I 100% support them. That authenticity and that love for the people that he has is one of the reasons that they actually continue to work there because he cares so deeply about them that they're attached to him and want to continue working at the company. But when you look at, when you think about retention, if you can't get clarity on what that looks like for you, at a high level, one of the good things to think about, at least this is kind of what we've done, and I see a lot of similarities in between good businesses like Ben, is you think about, income and job experience, right? If people come to your organization and they experience the best job experience that they've ever had, and you put them in a position to make more money that they've ever had, right? And you can do those two things. The money piece is not always an option within every business, but it usually is in a commission-based sales environment. But if you put people in a place to make more money than they've ever had, and you put them in a place to have a better job experience than that they've ever had, there's not going to be a reason for them to go anywhere. And so that's like the foundation of, thinking through how do I start to retain people. I got some notes here too. One of the things that you said is it was just kind of a side note, but until somebody's a manager, right, they got to be able to execute at the job, which is really important, right? That's regardless of the managerial job, whether it's operations or sales leadership, right? If you're an owner and you want to build a sales team and you suck at selling and you're not making like money right now, and you want to build a sales team because it's like you think it's going to print you cash, you're not going to be able to do it because you're not going to be able to execute at the leadership role. So whether you need to build your team or you want to advance somebody or hire somebody into sales leadership, you need to make sure that somebody can successfully perform within your business before they get the role. We, with our clients, we don't direct them to hire outside sales leadership at all. We give them a very specific path to put in place within their business so that somebody objectively proves themselves into the role. They sell consistently and show up at a high level for 3 to 6 months. Then they get a small responsibility that benefits the owner or the sales leader in the onboarding process of new reps. Once they show up at that, they get a couple more responsibilities, get a co-manager role. And once they execute at that for a while, they get the big boy, a big girl sales leadership role. And they prove themselves into the position. And that puts the owner in a place to know that they're putting the right person there that can execute, right? So that if they step away managerially, the whole thing doesn't blow up, which is really easy to do if you put the right leader in place. But from a retention perspective, they do fun events, right? The thing that they're doing this weekend, right? So they get the team together. Okay. One of the things I forgot to mention earlier too is they have consistent, team meetings. I see that a lot. If I've come in early in the mornings, you guys are kind of huddled up around that glass table, and you guys are kind of collaborating and that kind of thing, and looks like a fun meeting. So you're constantly connecting with your people. But they do fun events outside of just the cookie cutter job as well. Extremely important when building a sales team, right? We want to think about, if I have a commission-based sales rep or a primarily commission-based sales rep and they're a producer, it's like, man, how do I continue to provide a good income and job experience to retain these fools long-term? That's what I want. And, exciting things in the future are worth investing in, right? That's another note too, is like, he's talking about other income opportunities. He's talking about doing these events, whether they're small and just getting the team together or investing money into things, right? He is deciding to take his money as an owner and invest it. And from a retention perspective, that's providing a better job experience for his team. And because of that job experience, they want to continue working there. Like we had a big, business goal, a monthly revenue goal that we just hit December 2022. And the idea was like, hey, sales team, when we hit this goal, right, which is a big thing for us, we're all going on a cruise together, right? So they hit that goal and we're going on a cruise in the second half of 2023. And they're like, man, this is freaking awesome. The company's taking us on a cruise. And I know, like, my assumptions is that, hey, that's going to help retain maybe 1 to 2 additional people for the next 12 months, right? And it's going to cost 25 grand or whatever, but I want to invest back into my business because it's going to provide a better job experience. It's fun and it retains our people. So he invests into those things outside of just paying them in their, their comp plans too. From an income perspective, he has really unique things that he does to help, make sure that they have income opportunities, right? Which is unique if they're comparing to other gym, right? That's what people do, is like, if they like what they do, they like the industry, right? They can easily compare other gyms in this case, right? If he's doing these unique things to allow his people to be creative, which is not always going to be relevant to every role, but in his case, he's being unique and providing additional income opportunity because they deserve it. They've committed their careers to, this field, but those things are providing, better job experience and income opportunity and making sure they retain. He said something about a quarterly one-on-one meeting too, right? When you're building a business, you're going quick. It's, one of the most important things as a leader is to invest and have some intimacy, with your people. Okay, this is insanely important, especially when building and retaining a commission-based sales force. When you bring your people on board, and this is for every role, you need to understand the things that they want to accomplish. 3 month, whatever, 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, right? The 3 month, 1 year, 5 year thing, that's kind of the, a good thing to collect, right? So you can reverse engineer what your sales opportunity provides and helps them get clarity on what it looks like for them to accomplish their 3 month, 1 year, 5 year. You can have fun with it. Like, hey, let's just pretend hypothetically you're not even working here in 10 years. What exactly would you want to accomplish if you were not even working here, right? So you want to get clarity on what people want to accomplish so they know that you care about them, their goals, their future. And you ideally want to help them, paint a picture how they can accomplish that within your opportunity. But you need to know your people and what they care about. A big one, especially in a commission-based sales opportunity, right? He mentioned, I think is Mitch technically the director of training or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has a bunch of accolades. He's a very experienced trainer. He's a guy that can, get a job anywhere in, a similar type of field. He decides to work at Epic because of the opportunity, the community that he has with his team members, the way that he's loved at his job, his daily job experience, his income opportunity, all of those things, his relationships with Ben, right? All those things make him want to work there, right? That's what holds people together. And, you were talking about, like other opportunities like the yoga thing and these things and being kind of creative, right? You're open to opening up opportunity outside of the cookie cutter Epic model. And ultimately my point here is that you want to have a big enough opportunity, a big enough vision where champions like Mitch can picture themselves accomplishing what they want to accomplish within your business. So there's a reason to continue working there. Very relevant to building a commission-based sales force. If all you want to do is build a freaking 3-person company, a sales team with 3 people because you're like, hey, I'm going to make 100K off these 3 guys and I want to make 360 per year override, right? If that's your goal, you're never going to build a good company, right? You need to have a big vision. So when you actually get lucky and get the right people, there's a reason for them to be excited about the long-term future. Extremely important. And then, back to the thing where you're like, hey, if people advance out of this company and they go work at Jazz, in Salt Lake City, God bless them. Like that, they've earned it. That's all good. I 100% support them. That could be difficult to have that perspective, right? He has that perspective because he's built a really good business, right? He's not worried about the day-to-day, like making the couple bucks. He's taken the time to build a really amazing business. And because he's taken the time to build an amazing business, he can have the proper perspective, which is the perspective that shows your people that you care about them in your future more than the money that they create for your business, which is another area that helps them say, man, these people care about me. I want to continue working here.